Hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? It's your girl, LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. Always excited to share things you can do to work on your money, your marketing, and your sales goals too, with strategy and intention. So, we are going to continue the Supercharge Your Sales week with strategy number 4, how you can explore 4 questions that can lead to cash flow. Now, of course, before we get there, let me start here and say, hey, welcome back to my OGs. Mwah, welcome to the first time, for the first time to my newbies. Feel free to let me know who you are and where you are in this beautiful world today. And of course, never forget if you're catching, ooh, excuse me. If you are catching me on the replay side, to drop into the comment box, hashtag replays rock. Had a little bit of frog right there, just sitting right there. But of course, like I mentioned before, feel free to share. Sharing is caring, and tag some business besties who would like to work on their monetization, marketing, and sales strategies. So I'm going to do a couple of things as always. Number one, talk you through some of my sales strategies. And today we are on day 4. So what we're going to do is explore more ask please. I always say you got to get your ASK, get your ask in gear if you really are committed to genuinely getting what you want out of life and out of your business. So we're going to talk about ASK, get that ask in gear. 4 of 8 particular questions that you should be asking and checking in with your audience around when it comes to optimizing your sales. Now, if you've missed it, I've been doing this Setup for Sales Success series for the last couple of days, taking you inside of my Setup for Sales Success webinar intensive. It was absolutely information packed, and literally you can get it right now for 70% off. It's one of the good goods that you can grab as part of the Supercharge Your Sales plus Super Sales week-long experience. And by the way, let me just say, if you go over to that link right there, sistasense.com, that's me, sistasense.com/SYS. Yes, you can take a look at the SYS Supercharge Your Sales good goods plus the great discounts. Hey, my girl Matissa is in the building. Matissa, Chef Matissa Wooten. Hey, my dear. Awesome to see you here. Thank you so much for the hearts, the thumbs up, and the love. Keep tapping on that as we continue and really kick off this success sales conversation. So, okay, y'all. Here are a couple of questions you should be asking. Now, before I get into these questions, the first thing I want to do is ask you how often you are checking in with previous customers. Hopefully, number one, you're building up your customer base. And number two, you're checking in with those people as often as you possibly can. So, one question you can ask them is, do you need more dot, dot, dot? Fill in the blank. I always tell you guys, remember, the easiest person to sell to is somebody who's already bought something from you. So going to your existing audience and saying, hey, do you need more? Fill in the blank, and seeing who raises their hand and says, oh my gosh, yes, me. So I'm going to give you a little bit of story time, and we're going to go through these questions, okay? So I've been doing this for many years now. I've been online for a long time. And I remember when I wanted to quit my 9 to 5 job and to work at home full time. My son was 6 months old at the time. No. I was 6 months pregnant. So I was 6 months pregnant when I quit my job. And he was about 6 months old when we moved from New York to North Carolina. So you're thinking about like a 12-month window in there, right? So I say that to say this. When I quit my job, my goal was to see if I could realistically transition and bring in at least $3,000 a month. I was like, oh, can I do that? Today, I've brought in $3,000 in a day. Okay. So I know that it's possible for you to, number one, transition from 9 to 5 to working for yourself. And number two, generate the kind of revenue you want, so long as you commit to working on your vision. And I don't know if you heard me, but I said, when I left my job, my goal was to see if I could bring in $3,000 in a month. I brought in $3,000 today, and it's about 5 o'clock or so. Or what time is it right now? It's 4:45. So there's still a lot more of the day to go for me to continue to bring in revenue. Okay. And I'm using a lot of the sales strategies that literally I am sharing with you right here as an excerpt of the Setup for Sales Success webinar intensive that I've got over there. That link that I gave you, sizzlesense.com/SYS, which stands for Supercharge Your Sales. Now, literally, one of the things that helped me generate sales today was the questions: do you need more? Going back to my audience, going back to at least a segmented list and saying, hey, I know that you've purchased different trainings from me before. Right now, I have an opportunity for you to get this awesome bundle. It's going to give you lifetime access to my mastermind. It's going to give you 6 months access to the next trainings that I do, virtual events too, plus some of my best templates that I've created this year. What do you say? And literally, people were like, yeah, raising their hand and opting into that. And it's something that I've been sharing today. Okay. So asking the question, do you need more, dot, dot, dot. And as a matter of fact, one of the ladies in my circle said, hey, I actually need more time with you. So she opted into that and said, I would love it if you could come and update my site. I've got a few things that if you could do that for me, that would be great. How much would it cost? Right. So one of the questions that you need to consider is, do you need a reduced rate? Do you need a reduced rate, right? Being conscious of your audience, your previous customers, and how you can serve them. One of the ways that you can supercharge your sales is by creating really great sales that you can share with your larger community, but with individuals too, really showing them how much they matter to you, right? So this morning, one of my clients, I said, hey, do you need more time? I'm going to give you 6 clarity calls so that we can check in and we can catch up, because I know you've been pretty busy. So in giving her that more time, that was an opportunity for us to reconnect, number one. Number two, for the client who came back and said, hey, LaShonda, I need to get some updates. What would that look like? How much would that cost? I said, you know what? Based on what you're telling me, I think we could do this for about 3 hours. Do you need a reduced rate? So I literally gave her the opportunity to get $100 off of my 3-hour package, thinking about, is that something that's going to be useful for her? And I think she's at work right now, so she was probably checking with me after 6 or so when she's done with her day. But one thing she said to me this morning was, thank you so much for the quick response. I actually like your bigger package because I've got 3 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours, 24. And she's like, I would love to get your 6-hour package. Do you have a payment plan? That's another question here. Do you need a payment option, especially if it's something that's higher price, so that you're in a space where, as opposed to just paying one full payment, you can break it up? And I said, yeah, there is a payment plan for the 6 hours, and it's broken up into 3 parts. If that works for you, if not, you can get the reduced rate for the 3 hours and literally pay for 2 versus 3. So you're going to get $100 off me. And I figured that should be one of the things that I put on the super sales for today. I said, you know, if anybody out there needs more time, needs more tech support, would like me to help them update their website, I gave that to her. I said, I'll give it to you too. So again, over at sizzlesense.com/SYS, which stands for Supercharge Your Sales, you'll see some of the super sales that I'm dropping on you this week to give you some of the good goods. Number one, you can get 70% off the Setup for Sales webinar intensive. It's about 3 hours, chock full of good on some things that you can do to optimize your sales. Today, day number 4, I'm giving you 4 of the 8 recommendations when it comes to strategy for more ask. Okay. And of course, there are other resources and good goods on that page, including the opportunity to get $100 off either 3 or 6 get more done update hours. So you can basically have me on retainer, helping you update technical aspects of your website or different projects you're working on, maybe graphic design, and you need a little bit of extra professionalism to go with that, right? So think about how you can serve your community. Think about how you can really show people that you understand where they are now, and if they're going through things right now or economically challenging times, how you can support them in that using some of these powerhouse questions. And these are just really simple. So feel free to check in with me. Hey, Dr. E, awesome to see you here. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the love, Matissa. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Feel free, guys, to check in with me. Let me know who you are and where you are in this world today. And of course, if you haven't done so already, feel free to tag some of your business besties who are interested in strategies they can use to work on their business. Now, this is day 4 of 7 days of me talking to you about things you can do to supercharge your sales. So make sure that you turn on alerts and notifications so you can see when I'm live, so you can jump on here live with me. And I thank you so much for the hearts and the thumbs up and the love. Continue to tap, tap, tap on those. That helps me help you and reach more amazing, awesome entrepreneurs like you. So if you don't mind taking opportunity to tap, 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 show me some love. It would be greatly appreciated. Okay. So I also had one of my clients reach out to me today and say, you know what, LaShonda, I am so ready. I need help with updating my website. And if you could support me in that, that would be great, right? So think about things that you've done and customers that you've worked with. Can you use these questions? Do you need more? Do you need something updated? Do you need a reduced rate? Do you need a payment plan? Because these questions, these conversations open up the door to conversions, more conversions. And so as you're trying to go out there and strategically reach more people, right, in your space, I also want you to think about individual people too, right? What does that mean? So for example, this is a one-to-many experience, right? So I'm online and virtually, whether you're watching me live or via the replay, it's one of me and many of you, right? I also, outside of the one-to-many experiences that you can create, I want you to think about how much you are proactively having one-on-one individual experiences and conversations with your customers, especially the previous customers. How often are you checking in? How often are you asking questions that lead to cash flow? Okay, so let's enlarge this screen. If you feel like you want to screenshot it, this is 4 of the 8 when it comes to number 4. And of course, feel free to check in with me. You can always email your questions and or requests to sizzlesense@gmail.com. And of course, like I mentioned before, if you're curious about the Supercharge Your Sales Good Goods that I've got, and I'm dropping a new one every single day, feel free to go over to that link right there to see some of the things that I am slashing, like literally 70% off and more. There's even some dollar deals for you too. Again, over at sizzlesense.com/SYS, which stands for Supercharge Your Sales Success. That's it for today, y'all. I will see you right back here for strategy number 5, day number 5. Till then, go forth and do what you need to do to create amazing. Bye.